Hi guys and welcome to another video. I'm Man Jon. In this video I'm going to be discussing a new bit of kit that I've got. It's really exciting, the XP Deus 2. So I'm going to show you what we got in the package and I'm going to go through some of the features of the detector. Okay, so the main things that you get your fast multi-frequency coil. This one's the 11-inch. Get the new stem, the control unit, and you get sort of the instruction manual for it. Also included in the box, you get a holder case, you get the WS6 headphones, you get this kit, which is so you can connect it to go, you know, if you're going scuba diving underwater and things. And obviously you get all your charger cables. I'm still using the ones at the minute from the Deus one because they seem to work alright with it. So this is the new stem. It's still pretty much the same as the XP Deus 1. It's got a new handle. I love the grip on it. It does seem a slightly bit heavier. I do actually like the weight of it though. I think it's really well balanced and it's real good quality. It's absolutely fantastic quality. So the main control unit of the XP Deus 2, it's bigger than the other one. Got bigger screen to it. It's got like a protective casing over it, so obviously it is waterproof. It's just a fantastic build quality. I love the bigger screen on it. So what I'll do now, I'll turn it on and show you some of the features. So here on the up arrow you can see the little power button there, so you just press that and then the detector will turn on. So once it's loaded up and it's recognised the coil, you're presented with the headphone screen. So for this instance, because I don't want any sound out of it, what I'll do, I'll just select it for the wireless ones. Okay, so when you're having a look through your modes and your programs, you can scroll through using the plus and minus buttons. Program 1 is general modes. Program 2, sensitive. Program 3 is the sensitive mode, but that uses full tones. Program 4 is fast. Program 5 is park. Program 6 is deep. Program 7 is your Deus mono. Program 8 is goldfield. Program 9 is relic. Program 10 is diving. Program 11 is beach. And then you have a beach sensitive mode. Then you have spare programs as you're going up, spare slots that you can save your own programs into it. Okay, the ones I actually like to use, I practiced using obviously the general mode. I quite like the sensitive mode, and I also like the relic mode as well. So I'm just going to show you something, some of the menus. This is just on the general mode. So if you press your menu button, which is the middle here, you're presented with some of the things you can change. So you've got your discrimination, your sensitivity. Obviously, because I'm filming in the house, I've turned my sensitivity off. Frequency shift, iron volume, reactivity, audio response, and then you're back to discrimination again. So when you're changing it, it's just the plus and minus as you're going through. There is an expert mode, so when it says expert, like on the Deus one, you can go in and you can change your silencer, again just by going up and down. You can change your tones, so depending on how many tones you want. So in this one, say for instance tone 1, this is where it's set at. You have to scroll across so you can change it, scroll across to your tone breaks. So tone 1, if you want to scroll up, you can just change the frequency there of the sound. Then when you want to change your tone breaks, you scroll across again using the middle button, and then that will change there as well. So that's just a bit different than the Deus one. You've got bottle cap mode. I tend to keep it off. You got a notch mode. On some of the other modes, that does come in to try and eliminate coke. So you got your silencer, which is another form of discrimination within discrimination. I tend to have my silencer at 0. Obviously you can't go into the minus numbers on the silencer on this one, but it will. If you change the reactivity setting, you'd still have to go back and change your silencer. Okay, so now I just want to show you the option menu. Okay, so in the option menu, you can scroll down. Lots of different options there. Okay, so the first one I'm going to go through is the audio. So if you click select, so the PWM mode is the same sound as the Deus one. I actually prefer, if you scroll across the square mode, I like the tones of this and I like the way it sounds. So that's the mode I usually use. If you go to your audio out, that just, you can select sort of your different headphones and the different options available to you. The equalizer, if you press select in there, that will just boost certain frequencies, so you'll be able to hear that in your ears. It is quite a nice touch for it actually. So that's that mode. Settings, again, if you click settings, you can select your profile. You've got the horseshoe. You can use the XY screen. If you select the XY screen, what you find when you go back through to your main menu, it takes off, like it did on the Deus one, a lot of the information. What's quite good is if you save a profile of the program that you like using, you can set one, save one in, say, slot 13, and with the XY screen, and then you can just scroll through again to one that your other program that has the horseshoe, so you can just see a difference between the two. I quite like seeing a lot of the other information on the screen, so I'll be using the horseshoe option rather than the XY screen, but sometimes, you know, I'll play about with that as I go along, so I'll just swap that back. You can go down, obviously, in the settings, you've got a frequency scan. You can do manual, you can do an auto frequency scan, that's just for EMI. And so it stops interference from other detectors, power lines, and things like that. When you've got your ground balance button, you can click on that. You've got a tracking option, which obviously when you're detecting in a field, you're going around, it'll constantly be tracking the ground and setting the ground balance based on where you are in the field. I prefer to use the grab option where you do it manually. You've got an option now of ground stabilization. I tend to run it at 2. I find that works the best for me. I have actually created a program based on what I like, which I'll go through with you now. Okay, so I created the Mudman program. I based it on program 2, which is the sensitive one. So I'll just go through some of the things that I've set. So I've set my discrimination at -4. The reason being is I like hearing the ground when I'm detecting, so I can read what the ground's doing. I find -4 tends to be quite stable. I don't get a lot of interference and things like that, or it's too noisy. So I find for me, -4 is good. Usually run it at about 95 the sensitivity, but you can change that based on your needs. Frequency shift is 3, but I can change that in the field when I'm going through. Iron volume, I like to hear the iron in the ground, so set that at 3. I like a reactivity of 2. Now, if I'm in a ground where it's very, very noisy, there's a lot of contamination into it, I will set the reactivity a lot higher because I'm not worried about the depth. I find reactivity of 2 with the speed that I swing the coil suits me really well. If I want to go a lot deeper or look for bigger targets, obviously I can drop that to 1. But you've got to be mindful of every time you change this, you've got to change the silencer as well. Audio response is 6. I'll show you some of the expert modes. So obviously with mine, I have it on a 5-tone. So I'll go through that now. I'll show you. So I've got my first one, -4. So that's going to be my ground noise. So that's the low frequencies. Then I go across tone 2. I've got it set to 10, up to 10, and I've got a frequency of 150 Hertz. Third tone break, I've got it at 35. I've got it set at 475 Hertz. Fourth tone, frequency break at 75, 725 Hertz. And then I've got my last tone from 75 to 99 at 951 Hertz. Bottle caps I have at 0. I've notched out the Coke at 23 to 25, and I've got my silencer on at 0. So in the options there, let's have a look. I've got it on my audio, I've got it on the square, and I've boosted some frequencies. So I have the last 2 frequencies boosted quite up to the top, and I've got obviously the 150 is right in the middle. 450, I've just put it up a notch. So I've just changed that there. So that's the Mudman program. So that's based, like I said, off the sensitive program, and that's what I find works quite well for me at the minute. I am playing with the relic mode. That does punch a lot deeper, but you also get a lot of 0 on that, and it can be annoying sometimes. But I'll go through that more in some future videos when I can base a program off that I think works well. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. That was just a quick look at the XP Deus 2. I'll be going out very soon, filming some content of me using the XP Deus 2, and I'll show you how it functions in the fields that I work on, and I'll show you some of the finds that we get from it. Okay, I'll see you soon guys. Take care.